Yo, 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 welcome back to White Dads Can't Jump, here with the main man, Chad. How goes it?
Doing good. Doing good. How you doing?
Well, we're a day late.
Day late and a dollar short. It's kind of my motto.
Yeah, we're not a day late yet. This is just a late Wednesday edition.
Late Wednesday. Yeah. We had good reason. Our local single A baseball team won their championship last
Invited
night.
us out.
In so many ways. I don't know if the ticket lady got that memo, but
She felt like she was
nonetheless,
trying to do everything she could to keep us out.
nonetheless, right. So you ever get that text? Yeah. So we missed it yesterday, but we're here because we know what the people want.
Right, exactly. So,
Hot takes.
speaking of what the people want, I was trying to change into more baseball appropriate attire yesterday, and so I slipped on a pair of shorts. And the main man Chad here
Where did you
was
put those shorts on at?
in my car, because
Okay.
there wasn't time to do any switcheroos. And so I step out and I'm trying to put my belt on, and I turn around, and the main man Chad goes, "Oh my God." I had not gotten to the point of getting my zipper up yet, and he thought that I was
why would that
trying
not
to
be
get
the
something.
first thing? Why
You
would
thought I was
that
trying
be
to get
first?
something for free.
Why would that not be first? I don't understand. It goes
Listen.
zipper then button.
Listen, without the
Zipper,
belt, the
then
whole
button.
thing could fall.
Oh my gosh! And this was from like 30 yards away. I had to watch it come in the whole time. It's like watching the plane land.
Or the car crash happened. So we had a great we made it into the game fully clothed. We had a great time. We'd like to thank the Lakeland Tigers for putting on a good show and winning. So go
Yeah.
Tigers!
It was exciting.
And we are big fans.
That was our
And-
fourth game, I think, this season. Third,
Yeah,
fourth.
this season.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good compared to. I mean, when you see the attendance numbers, where we represent probably about 5% of that for the year.
I'm pretty sure they're sending us our VIP cards right now.
Yeah.
So, we're saying go Tigers, but honestly, there has been a lot coming across the news wires here, which I know that America is waiting to hear from us on. So I figured we'd check in tonight.
Because the news doesn't happen until we comment on it. I think that's
right. Yeah,
I've heard
I don't
that
know where
somewhere.
else you get your news source.
No.
So the most recent thing across the wire is your main man Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, it's about time. I mean, that guy. Oh my God. It's funny because
Not a fan.
the Jimmy Kimmel kind of what I want to say.
Shtick.
Well, his shtick and his kind of like change from the Man Show. Like, you remember the Man Show?
Yeah,
Like, literally opened with girls jumping on trampolines.
right.
Like, that was the opening sequence. And then he went full hard
Corporate.
left. Very corporate, very left. And then it's just like he can't get out of his own way. It's like, I don't know if he's just trying to be edgy. Or because you know what happens in these situations is that people feel untouchable.
Yeah.
So they see it happening to everyone else. And if you don't know what we're referencing is with the Charlie Kirk assassination, people were getting fired from their jobs for making insensitive comments or celebrating it. All across the country, this is happening. And so Jimmy Kimmel, in his infinite wisdom, decides to go and, I mean, he wasn't celebrating it, but he was spreading clear misinformation on national television. Because if you didn't know, Jimmy Kimmel is not a huge Trump fan. I don't know if you've come across with that.
Oh yeah.
As explicitly as he is trying to. But yeah, so he got dinged and then he's out indefinitely. So we'll see how long. Because the FCC was threatening to put action against Disney. And then Nexstar, I guess, who owns the distribution rights for certain markets, they pulled it. And then that's what caused Disney to come in and make their decision.
I'm reading here in quotes. Kimmel criticized conservatives on Monday for, quote, desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and with everything they can to score political points from it. Okay.
Yeah.
So he clearly took a stance there. Presidente, who actually had dinner last night at Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, I saw that.
On a little bit of a PR tour. He did get a moment to tweet. He's not much of a tweeter, but occasionally
Really,
he
that's
slips one
interesting.
past the goalie. He lauded the company for, quote, finally having the courage to do what had to be done.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it's just a strange situation because it's one of those, like, there's not a whole lot of gray area in that. Because, I mean, literally the man was handing out Trump gear at the rally.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense that one of the supporters of Trump would then do that. Like, there's just no way that you could warp that story
Right.
to fit that narrative. And it's just blatant kind of misrepresentation of things. And then, you know, what happens is when you're online, you see social media, people then, well, what happened to freedom of speech? Where's my freedom of speech? And then people misunderstand that freedom of speech only happens towards the government. Like, your job can fire you for saying anything you say because you're going against their ethical standards or whatever it might be. So, like,
Right.
that freedom of speech doesn't carry across the threshold when you badge in to work. Then you just can't start spouting off crazies at work and then expect to. It's like the Starbucks people got upset because they had to wear a uniform. Like, you don't have a freedom of expression when you're at work.
You do in the parking lot as a non-employee.
Well, yeah. Right. And when you're changing into shorts. But once you're at work, like, you can't start spouting off crap. You can't do it.
Right.
And obviously, like, in our profession, teachers, they have an opportunity, or we have an opportunity to say anything to kids.
Some of them apparently have an opportunity to wear shorts too. It is what I believe is the case nowadays. But
I think there's a calf requirement for that, though.
oh, got it.
There's a threshold. We don't meet it. Not many do.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, because teachers are getting fired all over the place because they're posting crazy stuff, like celebrating. Like, what are we doing, people? Like, can we not? I was in a Facebook groups for some of the classes I teach, and people are like, you know, I'm really nervous about approaching this subject with my students because I don't want to get myself in trouble. And it's like, how hard is it to not get in trouble? Don't say you're happy about it. Don't cheer it. Don't say you had it coming. Don't say I disagree with people, so they should be shot. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely believe that some of the most influential conversations are where the speaker doesn't take a stand. I mean, it's the Socratic method, right? Like,
right.
I'm just going to keep asking you questions so that we can explore the logic behind what you think.
Yeah, and, you know, one of the things that comes up is, when is political violence acceptable? And then I think to myself, like, this guy wasn't even a politician. He's going to college campuses, and you agree or disagree with what he's doing. He's not being abusive or aggressive in these conversations. If you ever watched any of his clips, I mean, I wasn't a follower per se, but like, just it would pop up online and I would see some stuff, and I would watch some of his more kind of combative back and forth with the college students. But at the same time, like, he was always in control of himself, in control of his emotions, like giving counterpoints and not, you know, furthering the discussion in a debate, not being, you know, abusive. And then obviously people mischaracterize his statements or take things out of context to push the narrative now after the fact. So it's a crazy, crazy world.
Yeah. Well, you can rest assured of the fact that the ABC network has insisted the cancellation was a purely financial decision. So.
Right. Yeah. No doubt.
No, that is a direct quote.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, that is not tongue in cheek. That is a.
Oh, I thought you were referencing the Colbert Show or the Late Show.
Yeah. Again, doesn't this sound familiar?
Yeah.
While the network insisted the cancellation was, quote, purely a financial decision. So,
okay.
Had nothing to do with it.
Nice.
Case closed.
There it is. You know, it's funny. I was watching some stuff with Trump over in Great Britain. And it's always interesting to see how people are going to. Well, one, it's weird that they have a king and queen, because obviously, like, we're way past that in society. That's a thing. And if you know anything about their, like, they don't really have a role in it. Like, they can influence public opinion, but like, they're not making any decisions ultimately at the end of the day.
They get to live off taxpayers.
Yeah, they're like cash poor. Like, all the dukes and duchesses of England. They're all cash poor. They just have these massive estates, and they're trying to profit off the estates because they all. I mean, obviously, like, old money is land titles.
Right.
There's no cash, so once land stopped being valuable to the commodity, then they're screwed.
That is actually an interesting point. I would want to look that up. So, obviously, there have been dukes and duchesses and prince and princesses who have gotten themselves in a pinch over the years, and you would have to imagine, like, is it against the deed in order to take a mortgage against the property.
Oh, that
and
is
the reason I
interesting.
ask that is because if you're cash strapped, obviously one way to get cash is to tap the value of your home or palace, as it were. And,
Estate.
yeah, take out a mortgage. But if they're so cash strapped, what are the odds they're going to be able to pay the payments? So eventually you've got Bank of America that owns a palace in the middle of the UK.
Well, I think what they do is they turn them into visitor centers, like museums and
Right.
whatnot, or they've gone Airbnb route or hotels, like boutique hotels on the ground.
Commercialize the real
Yeah,
estate.
wedding
Yeah.
venues, festivals, and stuff like that.
It was truly incredible to see the white tie dinner that Trump was at. The table must have sat 100 people on one side, and there was an entire garden as the centerpiece. Like you
Yeah.
were at least 20 feet away from the person directly across the table from you.
Yeah, probably not a lot of good conversations going on there.
Yeah.
You think
Very.
Trump's like, "Can you pass the soup?" And they're like, "What?" Or which fork do I use? Which spoon am I using?
When are the Big Macs being served?
Right. Yeah, honestly, like that's what they should have done. Just taken him to McDonald's. He would have appreciated that more.
Right. Not exactly a
We can
tea
solve
and crumpet
all
kind
the
of guy.
problems over McDonald's Big Mac.
Absolutely.
And now they brought the extra value meal back. Have you seen this? Remember that
Heyo.
was their whole thing was that extra value meal.
Yeah.
They made the Big Mac an extra value meal. Now it's only $8.
Well, they tried to wrangle everybody into using the app.
Yep.
And you could always get this same level of pricing if you were willing to play their game and use the app. The fact that they're bringing the value meal back says to me that they had squeezed all the juice there was out of squeeze of forcing people into the app, and there wasn't enough people that were willing to do it. And so they finally just had to go, in order to be competitive broadly, they had to just bring it back on the menu.
Yeah, the app. The problem with the app is that it doesn't speed up the process at all for you. Because when you go through the drive-through, like you don't have to talk to the people and you get the discount, but it's not like your food's ready. Like you still have to wait in line, or you have to pull off to the side and wait for them to give it to you. So it's not like I have a McDonald's 2 minutes from my house. I can't put it in at home and then just drive up and get it.
You can if you're willing to walk in.
Well, yeah, but then what's the point? Then I might as well eat inside.
And I would say it does make it at least 1 millisecond faster, because you can drive up to the window and say a 4-digit character or 4-digit code, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then you can just go on. Because honestly, one of the most frustrating parts is number 1. Yep, I want a number 1. No pickles, extra pickles, no pickles. Like,
Right.
That's an incredibly long process compared to giving them a 4-character code.
Have you gone to an AI drive-through yet at Wendy's?
Oh, no.
So that is a whole shit show, because if
really?
you try to make any type of changes, it's not ready for that. Because like if you
No.
say, all right, I want a 5 for $5, and then you say, and they ask you what kind of sauce you want, and you say barbecue, and you're like, oh wait, I don't want pickles on my burger, like that. They can't handle that.
No. We're talking about
Then-
barbecue sauce now. You missed your chance.
Right. Then someone has to pop on, or you're just yelling representative.
0. Press 0.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's weird, because you pull up and the thing just starts talking to you. Now, if you're ordering, you go up and say, I want a chocolate frosty, then it's easy peasy. You go through, you're good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I do push the buttons. Like when I go into the restaurant, I'll use the board
Yeah.
and I won't talk to the people.
At first, when that whole thing happened, I was a little perturbed by it. I'm like, listen, I'm here to order. The least you can do is come up here and take the order. But after a few conversations with those people taking the order, you're just like, you know what? Maybe the computer and I can work it out. Like, I think I can make this thing work.
Yeah. Yeah, I use it. Because then, well, at McDonald's too, you can scan your code. So that's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get your rewards that expire. That's also super frustrating. But anyway.
We digress.
Yeah.
Speaking of fallout and impacts from Charlie Kirk, you'll be pleased to know that House lawmakers are now getting an additional $10,000 per month for personal security following the assassination. So,
Where's that coming from?
quick civics trivia: how many House lawmakers are there?
Well, we're at 435. So
Right.
they're
Times 10 grand.
yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a month.
a month, every
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a lot.
And what do they do with that? Like, what's inefficient about them now?
We're gonna put bulletproof glass in our Mercedes. We're gonna, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think there's no. I mean, this is going to sound harsh, maybe, but there's no value in assassinating a congressperson. Like, what are you going to accomplish? Like, you just get replaced. Like, it's a replaceable position. Like, none of them have enough influence that it's meaningful.
I was thinking more along the lines of the security gap. Like, the irony is that, like, they seem like a big, powerful figure when they are in DC on their, work home court. But then you've got Mitch McConnell, who drives or flies and is driving around the middle of Kentucky.
Right.
Like, do you think, I mean, I'm sure he could, because of his position as the majority, I think that he probably did have a security detail, but in DC, it makes sense. Driving around the middle of Kentucky,
right? Yeah, because I mean, how many people know who their local congressperson is?
Right, exactly.
And
at a federal level,
if you live in the district, you probably agree with them,
right?
Because that's the way it works.
You're not there to do them harm.
Right,
at least 50% of you guys agree with them.
Right. So yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, more spending. That's great. Where's Elon at? Did he approve that? What happened to him? He's buying Tesla stock. That's what he's doing.
I heard Elon in an interview recently, and he concluded that the government is a very hard beast to tame. And the conversation pivoted to the well-known fact that he is trying to turn humanity into a multiplanetary species. And he specifically said, in the event that something goes wrong on Earth, it is not the end of consciousness, which I thought was a poignant way of saying that. Because we know that there's been at least 8 extinction level events that have already occurred on this planet. So probabilistically, certainly probabilistically, it's not going to happen in our lifetime. But probabilistically, we as humans, as a race, are not going to be, on this planet for very long without something big happening.
Right.
So we've doubled our odds by going to the next planet. So,
which some say is where we came from.
Right. Oh, I was not aware of that.
Well, because you think about this is one of those deep thinking moments that I have oftentimes when I think, because it's like we live sometimes we live in the confines of our own timeline. In terms of our thought and technological advancements and whatnot. Like, the Earth has been here for 4.6 billion years.
Right.
Or 6,000 if you read the Bible. But anyway, the 4.6 billion years, there could have been, I know we have science and understanding, or like there could have been other situations where we had far surpassed our technological achievements, or something had surpassed our technological achievements, and it's just been erased from existence from some cataclysmic event. So it's weird to think, like, we always think that we're at the peak of human civilization and peak consciousness and understanding of our surroundings, but like we might be in the primitive stage of what was actually known at one point in time.
Yeah, no doubt. I was listening to a podcast that I will mention by name because it is very good. The Rest is History. And I was listening to a 6-part series on Mary Queen of Scots, and they were outlining the fact that she became queen at a week old. And, everything, she was the Queen of Scotland, who was raised in France for various political reasons. And they go into the stories of all of these characters, of the various monarchies of the different countries, as well as just the politically influential people of the time. And what struck me is akin to what you're saying right now. Back then, in the 1500s, they felt like this was the top, baby.
Right,
like,
we've peaked.
We've peaked, and so now we just have to, divide up the profits. That's all we got to do.
Right.
And so, like every generation. Then in the 1600s, 1700s, in the 1500s, they just drew maps with dragons on the edges because they're like, all we know is that when people sail that way, they don't come back. So,
right. So
obviously there must be a dragon.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a Kraken out there.
undoubtedly a kraken. And so then by the 1700s, they're like, wait, now we got it. No, we thought we had it. Now we got it.
Right.
So, yeah, it's always, where are we at today?
Yeah, I mean, granted, the 20th century had the largest boom. You went from literally, you could have been born with a horse and carriage to watching a man walk on the moon.
Well, and that's only 69
allegedly.
Years in. Then there was another 30 years of the internet and everything else.
Because they say, like, we're still using tech, like the rocket tech, obviously, from that general era, or like some of the bombers and fighters.
NASA.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, I think SpaceX is running on a different program.
Right. Yeah, but it is an interesting thought experiment to kind of weave your way through the historical advancements, and to your point of every version thinks that they've and it's not just each civilization. I mean, it's each civilization would think that.
Yeah, right.
Like the Mayans at one point were like, "This is
we got this."
And not knowing that on the other side of the world, like there's a whole other advanced civilization going on.
Right.
Or like there's still Amazonian tribes that are undisturbed by Western society. Like they're like, hey, I don't even know what they call each other, but he lived to be 25. That's awesome. We've made it. We didn't get eaten by an anaconda this year. Like that's their measure of success.
Man, some of the descriptions of the way some of the monarchs died in the 1500s. I mean, you are a monarch. You are at the top of the food chain, and they're living to 40. But they're like, in the handwritten accounts, he just had a ferocious amount of vomit, and that's how he died.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, you think about, like, anything, you got the cold, you're done. It's game over. And these people, what I don't understand, like, you have to understand that if you're in England, like, it's cold.
Yeah.
Like, move. Go somewhere else. Like, I don't understand it. And, like, the descriptions, and you get murdered by everyone. Anyone and everyone. Like, you're just constantly getting murdered. People are getting stabbed. And it's weird because you don't apply it to the reality of the situation, but like when they talk about people being like drawn and quartered, like they're being ripped apart, and we're just like, oh my gosh, that's interesting story. Or they're like having fire sticks stuffed up inside them, or like put inside have you ever seen like the flaming bull thing? So it's like this bull contraption. It's made out of something, coppers, I don't know, something, and they put you inside it. And then they would put fire underneath it, so it would cook you inside there.
Oh, lovely.
Because obviously these people are really into torture.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, we're just going to shoot you real quick. We're going to make it all... Yeah. And then the people would watch it. They would display it.
Yeah.
Man, crazy.
And now...
And again, this was peak civilization. These were cultured people.
And now the pendulum has swung to the complete other end, and we all have safe spaces now.
You need them, I guess, because words matter.
It's rough out there.
I guess words hurt your feelings. I was having a conversation with someone today, and I don't remember the context of it, but I said something relatively aggressive in terms of like accountability. And the question was, what generation are you from? And I said, I'm in between the X and the millennials, because it's a weird dynamic, because I was too old to be a millennial and too young to be a Gen Xer. So I had a different upbringing. But anyway, but I guess that idea of like accountability and responsibility is just gone. And I said, I think it's not only my generation, but just growing up in a small town, because when you grow up in a small, homogeneous cultural place, there's nothing to fall back on if you're not good at something. It's just like, well, I have to get better at it because society hasn't given me a crutch to fall on. So it's like, well, it has to be a meritocracy at that point, because I can't blame anything else.
Well, the person who found something, a crutch to land on, I guess, if you will, is the Spirit Airlines pilot who flew a little too close to the sun, or to the POTUS in this case. Did you hear about this?
Yeah. I guess he was trying to do it as a sightseeing expedition for the people on board, maybe. I don't know. Like, hey, look at there. There's Air Force One. Oh wait, there's an F-18 or an F-22 Raptor coming at us too. That didn't happen,
Well,
but I'm sure if they got close enough, it would.
As a pilot, I will tell you that, you know, a doctor is trained to stay calm. Air traffic control, they stay calm. Like, even if there's a near miss collision, if you go back and listen to the recorded tape, the ATC guys are calm. The ATC guy was pissed on the radio. He goes, hey, pay attention. Stop looking at the iPad. Like, he goes, I've been having to call you 4 times. Like, I felt like he was teaching a high school math class. Like,
maybe so.
It was wild, except that he's flying an airplane full of people.
What's he doing on the iPad? That's also concerning to me.
Yeah, that's their big out now, is that you can, as a pilot, you can sit there with the iPad in your lap and just hook up to the Wi-Fi and do, you know, whatever sort of technical business you need to do.
Which it doesn't involve flying the plane, I assume.
Well, there's a little autopilot, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, what is a pilot on a? If I go, so I have to fly in a few weeks, and I'm not a good flyer. I hate it. I'm not a fan. And so, what is a pilot doing on a commercial airline?
Taking off and landing.
So he takes off. At what point do we engage auto?
Cruising altitude. Flight.
Oh, so he takes you all the way. He ascends all the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for the most part. I mean, you take off, and then it depends on the flight and the navigational complexities of where you're going and whatnot. But yeah, generally you get up in the air, and once you hit 10,000 feet or so, you can turn it over to autopilot. Particularly in some cases, sometimes you have to wait till you're all the way up at flight level before you can hand it over. Because at that point, you're just regulating your heading and, I mean, your speed to some extent. So, yeah, really stay on the blue line.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I assume they have Google Maps, right? Tell them where to go.
And you are controlled by ATC, so you have to follow their directions as far as what you're doing. And you've obviously filed a flight plan, so everybody knows what the idea is. So, yeah, I mean, once you're up there, like, what do you think they're doing on the 21-hour flight to Singapore?
Stewardess.
Coffee. What was that, the airplane movie?
Airplane?
Yeah, no. But in the beginning of Airplane... No. Do you remember the beginning of Airplane where he says, hey, steward... what's the beginning of it? He says, hey, stewardess, I need some coffee. No, nix it. Cut that.
Okay.
Cut that from the tape. I can't remember the joke. It was really good. I will bring that to you next week.
That's a good movie, though. I haven't seen it in forever, but that's of a humor that doesn't exist anymore. Now, I will say I haven't seen The Naked Gun, the new one, but I know that's bringing back that type of humor.
They're trying to go for it.
I do quite enjoy. I mean, that was my era of growing up, and then you had like the Austin Powers movies, which I still, on a daily basis, think about in some capacity.
Specifically Austin Powers.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 of them, so I mean, there's tons of content in there, and there's some good stuff. There's some good one-liners, just some good stuff, some deep cuts in there.
That's fantastic.
I love those movies. That Naked Gun movies, those were good too.
Yeah,
Hot Shots. Remember Hot Shots?
Yeah, and Hot Shots Part Dos.
Yeah, with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
it was like the Top Gun.
So Charlie Sheen also has on Netflix sort of a video autobiography. Have you seen that yet?
No, but I read about it.
What were the
I heard the cocaine-induced foray into switch hitting, I guess.
Oh, okay. I did not know about that. I know that he was mad at his dad and thankful for his dad for turning him in. Because his dad originally was the one that put him into rehab, except he said the problem is that I wasn't asking for help. And you know, the old adage, like, until you're ready to help yourself, like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he had a run there, though. I mean, he had, what was it, 2.5 Men was super popular.
2.5 Men was great. Did you watch that one?
No.
The writing in that is just phenomenal.
The kid ended up going crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he ended up going off the deep end, yeah.
Classic child actor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because then they brought in Ashton Kutcher. Remember Ashton Kutcher?
I do remember that. Yeah, he carried it for like a season or two, but I mean, how are you going to replace Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, Charlie Sheen. He had a good run.
Yeah,
some good movies.
He was a good man. All right, so before we go though, we need to talk about the fact that you were, and we won't go into it right now, but you were the big winner this week with this weekend with football. Yeah,
all I'm saying, I've taken $75 and turned it into $926 in 1 week.
Bingo.
In 8 days.
Right. So
starting on Sunday, whatever the first Sunday of the season was, till today, up $850. So check in on Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday. That's right. Sunday.
Check. We're not doing college. We're just doing pro.
No. Yeah.
Check in on Sunday for your locks of the weeks. We will run it down, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.